What if the secret to lush, thriving plants and soil that only gets better year after year was sitting right in your backyard? Most gardeners know about composting, mulching, and biochar, but very few realize the explosive potential of combining grass clippings with natural charcoal. Once you understand the why and the how behind this method, you'll never look at grass or charcoal the same way again. Every time you mow your lawn, you're harvesting one of nature's most nitrogen-rich fertilizers. Fresh grass clippings are loaded with nitrogen, the element plants crave for lush green growth and strong stems. When added to soil or compost, grass jumpstarts microbial activity, breaking down quickly and feeding life beneath the surface. But here's the challenge. Grass decomposes so fast that it often becomes a slimy, smelly mess. Left alone, it can suffocate soil, release unpleasant odors, and even burn delicate roots. Its power is undeniable, but without balance it fizzles out almost as soon as it starts. That's why so many gardeners are disappointed when they dump fresh grass onto their beds expecting miracles. The truth is, nitrogen without stability is like a spark with no wood to catch. Charcoal, when untreated and natural, is essentially pure carbon. Think of it as a skeleton of wood, stripped down to a porous structure filled with millions of tiny holes. These holes act like little storage vaults for water, minerals, and microbial life. Charcoal doesn't just sit in the soil, it becomes permanent real estate for everything that makes soil fertile. Unlike grass, it doesn't decompose quickly. It stays for decades, quietly improving soil texture and keeping nutrients from washing away. The one drawback of charcoal is that it starts out empty. By itself, it holds space but offers little nourishment. This is where most gardeners get it wrong. Adding plain charcoal to soil without charging it first can actually tie up nutrients instead of delivering them. The key is to load those empty vaults with life and minerals before putting it to work, and that's exactly what happens when you combine it with grass clippings. When grass begins to break down, it releases nitrogen and a mix of minerals in liquid form. On their own, these nutrients tend to wash away with rain or evaporate into the air. But when charcoal is present, it soaks up those nutrients like a sponge, holding them inside its tiny pores. Over time, this creates a nutrient-packed, microbe-rich material that feeds plants steadily, rather than all at once. This mix also solves structural problems. If your soil is hard clay that struggles to drain, the charcoal opens it up, creating air pockets for roots to breathe. If your soil is sandy and can't hold water, the charcoal stores moisture for longer periods, giving plants a steady supply even during dry spells. And because the grass keeps feeding microbes as it decomposes, the soil doesn't just improve for a season, it continues to build life year after year. The result is soil that gardeners often describe as black, crumbly, and alive. Plants respond with stronger roots, healthier leaves, and more abundant harvests. This isn't just fertilizer, it's long-term soil regeneration. Creating this soil hack at home is simple, but the details matter if you want maximum results. Start by collecting fresh grass clippings, making sure they are free from pesticides or herbicides. Chemical residues can harm the very microbes you're trying to encourage, so clean grass is non-negotiable. Next, gather natural charcoal. If you have a fire pit, the leftover wood charcoal is perfect, as long as it hasn't been treated or mixed with lighter fluids. Avoid commercial barbecue briquettes, because they often contain chemicals and fillers. Crush the charcoal into small pieces about the size of a pea. Too large, and it won't hold enough nutrients. Too fine, and it can create dust that compacts instead of aerates. Now comes the layering. In a compost bin, pile, or directly in a garden bed, alternate thin layers of grass clippings and crushed charcoal. For every 3 parts of grass, add 1 part of charcoal. This balance keeps decomposition steady without overwhelming the system. To supercharge the process, water the mixture with a microbial-rich liquid. Compost tea, diluted manure tea, or even something as simple as rice water works beautifully. A good formula is 1 gallon of compost tea diluted with 3 gallons of water, enough to moisten but not drown the mixture. This liquid seeps into the charcoal pores, introducing beneficial microbes that will colonize and multiply. Within weeks, you'll see the transformation beginning as the pile darkens. Sweet earthy smells replace sour ones, and the texture shifts toward rich, crumbly soil. What sets this method apart is how it, really balances speed with stability. The grass delivers a fast release of nutrients, while the charcoal locks them in for long-term availability. This means your plants never experience the roller coaster of feast and famine. Instead, they're supported by a steady, reliable food supply that strengthens them season after season. Beyond fertility, the charcoal becomes a permanent upgrade to your soil's architecture. Unlike compost, which eventually breaks down and disappears, the carbon in charcoal remains for decades, continuously storing nutrients and water. That means one round of preparation can keep paying off for years, turning poor or exhausted soil into a resilient foundation for your garden. Gardeners who adopt this method often report dramatic changes. Heavy clay becomes looser and easier to work, and sandy soil that once left plants thirsty begins holding moisture after just a season. Crops grow taller, leaves deepen in color, and harvests increase noticeably. Perhaps most exciting is the sight of life returning underground. Worms tunneling, fungi spreading, and a thriving community of microbes building networks beneath your feet. The combination doesn't just feed plants, it rebuilds entire ecosystems, and once it's in place it requires very little upkeep. Just add fresh grass every so often, top it with more charcoal when you can, and honestly, let the soil's living network handle the rest. If you've struggled with poor soil, yellowing plants, or just disappointing harvests, this might be the trick that changes everything. Grass and charcoal might not sound glamorous, but together they create one of the most powerful natural soil amendments you'll ever use. Best of all, it's simple, affordable, and really rooted in science that works across all soil types. So, next time you mow your lawn or clean out a fire pit, don't just throw those materials away. Instead, see them for what they are, the building blocks of black gold soil. Your plants will thank you with stronger growth, better yields, and honestly, a garden that only improves over time. If you found this guide valuable and want more proven methods to supercharge your soil and crops naturally, make sure to subscribe to Soil and Crops Central, hit the like button, and share this with a fellow gardener. Together, we'll keep building healthier gardens, one simple trick at a time.